Hi there, friends! Welcome back to the Book Collector, and today I'm going to talk to you about something I've thought about for a long time. Have you ever read a book and then thought, why isn't this... Sorry, let me put this away. Have you ever thought, why isn't this a movie or a mini-series? I think that a lot. Some books feel like they were made to be transformed to the screen, either through a miniseries, especially now with how Netflix and Apple are doing amazing things with miniseries. And today I want to share 6 books that I think should be either a movie or a miniseries. Everything from legal thrillers to big sweeping family sagas. So let's dive in. So today I'm going to start with, this is a book that I loved and couldn't get enough of and can't stop thinking of, and this is Ordinary Grace. This would be perfect as, it could be a movie or a miniseries. Some I think are more tailored to that, but I think with the right directors you can span this out and get more detail that is provided in the book. But this is a coming-of-age story, part small-town murder mystery and part learning to walk your way through grief and faith. It takes place in 1960s Minnesota. The setting, you know, could be really atmospheric. And most of it, I think, takes place in the summer, so it's not like the Minnesota winter. But for me, the voice, it is narrated by an adult man telling a period of his childhood. So it just ringed of Stand By Me to me. And if you haven't seen that movie or read the novella by Stephen King, you should. And it's not scary for those of you who don't like Stephen King's scary stuff. It's really good. And the movie was fantastic. And so it kind of has those overtones to it. And that was such a long time ago. I think it could really be done, and it would give new life into kind of that sort of film and adaptation. Really, with the right casting. Really good. The next one, I just, reviewed this book recently. It was my August book club pick, The Tea Girl of Hummingbird Lane by Lisa C. It is, I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It's just begging to be adapted. I could visualize everything in my head from the reading. It could be a sweeping movie, and I think it could be a movie. Or it could be a mini-series if you really wanted to dig into more of the details. But I think it could be adapted either way and done really well. But you've got this remote China village that is of a different group of people culturally, and they, there's mother-daughter relationships, there's adoption and connection and being separate but connected still, and then you overlay all of the Chinese cultural things and the Aka in particular, their traditions. Oh, it was so well done, and I see it as a movie. The next one, I loved this book, The Women. So this is Vietnam era, but from women. So I don't know, something more akin. I, of course, being of a certain age and grew up in the generation of MASH, that kind of paints the picture for me. Others who are younger and not exposed to MASH, maybe it's Band of Brothers, but from a woman's point of view. So it is a book that's set in 1960s Vietnam War. It focuses on the women who serve as nurses and the fallout of everything they did and impacted and and saw during the war and the fallout when they come home. Kristin Hanna writes emotional characters, and this would give space to show friendships and the trauma and the healing. That is the most important part of this book. All of these books that I'm going to talk about, there is an emotional payoff that comes together at the end, which is why I loved them. And for me to really love something, I want to feel like, okay, that was worth it. And all of these do. So the next book, this is sort of a surprise one, is What the Wind Knows. And this book I probably wouldn't have picked up if it wasn't a book club selection, and I'm so glad I did because it set me off on an Irish kick. This has a little fantasy kind of thing to it. Not a lot. It's just a little time travel, so it's very little time travel. It's not back and forth. I don't know, it's far less than The Time Traveler's Wife. But anyway, this one would shine as a movie. It's set in the 1920s in Ireland during the Troubles, and you can just envision the beautiful Irish landscapes and the historical backdrop and this little teeny tiny time travel thing, which is done upon a lake in a boat, and it just happens. And so it's not a big, crazy thing, but it is gorgeous, I think, and there is a modern day component, obviously, because there's time travel. And I think that was from New York City. It could be wrong. It's been a while since I read it, but it's a sweet love story without being super sappy, and it's familial, and then these great overlays of history that you get to learn a little something about. I think it would be fantastic as a film. The next one, oh man, I have been thinking about this one as a movie, and it is the reason why I'm doing this video. Since I read it, when did this book come out? It came out in, I don't know what year. I'm trying to find it. It's supposed to be in the book, right? 2017. So it's been a bit. It's been about 8 years that I've been thinking about this. That is a long time. Somebody make this into a movie. I love Grisham for the most part. Some of his, books are a little repetitive, but when you get the gem, you get a gem. This is different, and I am not sure why it didn't have more hoopla about it. It is a story, it's fast-paced, it's sharp, and it feels like it could just adapt right into a movie very quickly. It tackles shady law schools and crushing student debt. I have a kid who's thinking about law school, so maybe that's why this came up, but maybe not. It's a fight against corruption, which I think is, these are all themes that we're struggling with today, maybe not particularly for law school, but debt for school. It would work great as a legal thing. Why aren't more of his books adapted? In all of his early books, yes, they were adapted, and they're good adaptations. Still watch them. They're great. Anyway, I still think 8 years later, I think about this. I think about these characters. I think about the story. I think this is one of his most underrated kind of fun books to read. Is it going to win a Pulitzer? No. But it was such a good, I still think about it 8 years later. And it would make a great movie. And I would totally buy it. The movie, that is, to watch over and over, if it's done well. Okay, so now I'm coming to the last one. And this last one cannot be made into a movie. It simply must be like a 12-part miniseries or something. And that's The Covenant of Water. And let me just say how much I adore this book. And I think of it, and it was such a pleasure. Yes, it's a big book, and it was a pleasure to read every single page of this book. It's a multi-generational saga set in India, I think spanning from like 1908 you know, to like 100 years. It's a long time. And it weaves together family and medicine and love and the cultural, the larger cultural things of India, but then this one little community and their beliefs and traditions, and then the generations. It's just, oh, I can see the trains, I can see the landscape. Now, I've been to India a few times, so that has helped. But there is a line in a movie, I think on the first time I was going to India, and it said that India is an assault on your senses, on all your senses. And it's true. And as I was reading this, I think I could, and so the visual, the medium of film really lends itself to give you the sight and the sound, at least, and maybe make you immersive enough where you could maybe smell and feel too. I don't know. But I think HBO, Netflix, Apple, if you're listening, please turn this into an epic mini series. So those are my picks for books that I think should be turned into some kind of film or mini series. And I'd watch every single one of these in a heartbeat. But now I want to hear from you. What book have you read that you would love to see turned into a film or a miniseries? Drop your dream adaptation in my comments, because I'm always looking to add to my list. It may spur me to read it, even if we don't have the movie yet. So thanks for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Until next time, keep reading.